Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, so you know it's time for Sunday dinner later on. I'm up and at it early this morning. A beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. I tell you, it's been too long. I've been away a little bit, but I'm back on the stove. As you can see, we're getting ready now to prepare Sunday dinner. And what I've got here in this pot, in this pan rather, is some beautiful, scrumptious chicken legs. It's going to be some spicy baked chicken. In that pan, I've got some chicken. Of course, you know, I pre-brined it last night, kind of wet rubbed it a little bit. And in that wet rub, I've got some bouillon cubes. I used 2 large chicken bouillon cubes, 1 tablespoon, check that, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and I've got some melted butter in there, and I've got some half a teaspoon of garlic salt. So I mixed all that together. You have to put about 1/4 of a cup of water in there to get those large bouillon cubes down to a paste, and then just rub that chicken with it, like sort of like a semi-wet rub you're gonna do on that chicken. And after you do that, you just spray a pan, a nice glass pan. In fact, I've got 12 chicken drumsticks in there. So once you get that rub on those drumsticks, just lay them in that greased oil pan. If you want to use spray, or you can use olive oil or whatever your oil of choice is, just lay them in there and let them marinate overnight. Excuse me, got a little frog this morning. After you get them in the pan, go ahead and sprinkle them with some Italian seasoning. How about that? Just gives it a little extra flavor, because you know how I am about the flavor. You know what Lady T says, it's all about the flavor, and trust me, this is going to be one great flavorful pan of chicken. And all of that nice confetti look that I've got on there, that is 1 large onion sliced up, a half of a large bell pepper, and 4 multicolored peppers that I've sliced in there just to give it some color and that extra little bit of taste. Now once I got those veggies chopped up, I went ahead and hit them with about a half a teaspoon of garlic salt just to give it that extra flavor. And of course, we got to have something else to go with that chicken. Oh, and by the way, those little yummies down in there, I had about a half a pack, which is maybe a half a pound of portobello mushrooms. I went ahead and threw those in there. I figured extra flavor to go over some nice Jasmin rice that I'm going to be cooking up. Food Line brand, the best rice in the world is Jasmin rice, okay? And with that, to enhance this dish today for Sunday, finally, y'all, got the candy yams going. This is 5 large candy yam potatoes, cut, peel, wash, and cut into circles. 2 cups of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla flavor, a half a teaspoon of salt, and a stick of, you know what, butter. Yeah. And then those little sprinkles that you see right there, that's nutmeg. But be very careful with the nutmeg, because as you know, it's very pungent. It's a very, very strong seasoning. So half a teaspoon of that for this amount of potatoes. So if you're going to use half this recipe, then just half everything in there. But I don't think that's a lot to do, because once they sit down at the table, these will go today, trust me. Or if you have some leftovers, put them in a freezer bag, throw them in the freezer. They freeze well. And as I told you, we're going to put that chicken over that Jasmin rice, and the vegetable, I'm cheating today, y'all, a can of Hanover cut green beans right out of the can. And I'm going to talk to you about how we fix them up and make them taste like fresh. This is a 3-pound can. Now what we're going to do is open them, of course, and then we're going to drain all of that juice out of the can. And then I'm going to take, and while they're still in the can, just wash them with water. Spray water right in there and keep pouring it off about 4 or 5 times to get that can taste off of them. Then after you do that, put 2 cups of water in a pan, bring it to a boil, drop one of these bouillon cubes, same bouillon cubes that I use for my chicken, drop one of those bouillon cubes in there and let that water start boiling. A half a stick of butter and about 3 strips of bacon to give it that nice smoked original taste. And of course, you know it, I'm going to pop a little bit of that brown sugar in there just to pull that flavor together. So today, Sunday dinner is going to be some spicy baked chicken over some Jasmin rice, candy yam potatoes, and some cut green beans. And you know it, Gotta do the corn muffins, so you're gonna see the corn muffins on the plate as well. So the next time you see this meal, it'll be all pulled together, and then after that, of course, you know the flavor train's gonna pull in, and the kids are gonna sit down and they're gonna have a great meal. So for now, I'm gonna sign off and I'm gonna let this food get to cooking because I gotta run this chicken in the oven for an hour and a half at 375 degrees. So it's 9:18 in the morning. Hey, by 11 o'clock, this whole meal will be done because you know what? I'm going to set it and forget it because I got to go to church, y'all. And look, it's been too long since the last time I was on here with y'all. And I promise, it won't be that long again. And when I come back, I'll explain why I've been away for a little while. So for now, toodaloo. Have a great Sunday. Hope you're going to go on to church this morning or get something done that you want to do. And I'll see you later on. Toodaloo. Okay, and we're back. It's all done, y'all. Sunday dinner. Here on this front burner, we got some candied yams, 5 large potatoes, 2 cups of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla flavor, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and 1 stick of butter. All you got to do is put all that in the pan with maybe about 1/8 of a cup of water in the bottom of that pan, and then just put your potatoes in and put all those other ingredients in on medium-low heat and let it start to cook. And then you're going to let them cook for the next hour and about 45 minutes until that juice becomes real candid. See the juice in the bottom there? Those potatoes are cooked to perfection and they look a little brown because I've used brown sugar, and you'll see some real brown spots in there where they sort of brown on the bottom a little bit. Now those are old-fashioned cooked candied yams. Okay, on this back burner I've got that spicy baked chicken. Got 10 chicken legs. I've got them pre-sauteed overnight with a bouillon cube, about 1/8 cup of water, a tablespoon of garlic salt, and a little bit, just a tiny bit of black pepper, about 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix that all together and rub it in on those chicken legs and let them sit overnight. And because I had that little bit of water in there, it sort of made the juice. I didn't add any extra water, covered them, and ran them in the oven. That's what gave that little bit of gravy to go over that rice. And that confetti look in there is some green bell pepper and some small miniature multicolored bell peppers. And I sprinkled some Italian seasoning on top of them. And also I've got some tiny little portobello mushrooms. I had some extra, so you know me, I just flipped them right on in there. Okay, of course we got our corn muffins, and we just cook those according to direction. Most of the time I do, this is 1.5 cups of meal, 3/4 cup of milk, 1 egg, 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and 1/2 cup of cooking oil, and just bake them for 15 minutes. And make sure you grease those muffin tins so they come out perfectly. Okay, over here we got our green beans in the pot. Now these are my green beans that I took out of the can. They were Hanover green beans. 2 cups of water, 1 bouillon cube, 3 strips of bacon cut up, and 1/2 stick of butter. And let's see, how much sugar did I put in there? You know I have to put a little bit of sugar to make that flavor go all through them and just pull all those other flavors together. Let's go ahead and dump a tablespoonful of brown sugar in there. I believe is what I put, if memory serves me correctly. But anyway, you're going to boil the 2 cups of water and all those other ingredients after you've washed those green beans real good, and you're going to put them in that water while it's boiling and let that boil for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Turn that water off, cover them, and let them just sit there, and those flavors will just soak through them. So you don't have to cook them because now they're canned, so they're already cooked, and you don't want them mushy, so they come out nice and firm, and that flavor is all the way through. And of course, you know we're going to serve that chicken over some nice fluffy white jasmine rice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sunday dinner. The next time you see this meal, it will be on the flavor train. So stay tuned. Bring your appetites with you. We're going to have some cold lemonade or some cold iced tea or some cold water or something, and we're going to sit back and relax. And you know what Lady T says? We're going to enjoy the flavor. We're going to savor the flavor. So thank you for joining in, for staying with me. Oh, I promised y'all one thing. I told you I was going to tell you why I stayed away so long. One of the things that happened with me this year, I reopened my office. I put together a nonprofit organization to help people in my community back in 2005. And when my husband became ill, I had to step back and close it down. So I decided this year I wanted to reopen. So I just reopened last week. So all last week I was ripping and running, getting furniture moved in, and we're set up and running. So keep us in your prayers as far as being able to help people and have all the resources that we need, because we are a nonprofit and we depend on the neighborhood or the community to keep us going. So as we sit and enjoy this luscious meal here today, hope you'll tune in and join in our festivities. Love y'all and see you soon.